Hello everyone. What is the probability of going out for a walk and suddenly finding something that would make you a millionaire in just a second? We're not talking about a treasure or a suitcase with $1 million inside, but about something rather unusual, an animal. You might know that rich collectors and fans of wild animals are ready to pay quite serious money for some creatures. Unfortunately, poachers do take advantage of this, and that's really bad. But still, do you want to see some of the most expensive animals in the world? Then let's get it on. Black cockatoo. No, this is not Photoshop. The black cockatoo is a real and rather expensive bird that lives in the north of Australia, in the peninsula of Cape York, in New Guinea and the nearby islands. It's the oldest species of cockatoo in Australia. It was the first to inhabit the northern part of this continent. Perhaps because of its rich history, the black cockatoo is a pretty capricious creature with an awfully nasty character. They are difficult to keep in captivity, and even a tiny mistake in training is enough to make the bird aggressive and red with anger, literally. In addition, like all cockatoos, these blackbirds are vindictive and they never forget if you hurt them. You can't put this animal in a cage either because it'll simply cut the bars open with its teeth. A seemingly quiet life in a zoo is also not suitable for a black cockatoo. The fact is that in nature, these unusual birds feed on the nuts of the canary tree. They're very difficult to replace, so even in the most comfortable conditions of captivity, black cockatoos don't live long and don't reproduce. Meeting this species in the wild is nearly impossible because there are not that many black cockatoos left. Because of this, their price on the black market reaches $16,000. Arowana dragonfish. One of the most ancient fish on Earth, the arowana dragonfish or Asian arowana, appeared on our planet in the Jurassic period. Today in Asia, this fish is considered a talisman to attract wealth. Apparently, this is why it's so expensive. The price for some species in particular, for example the red arowana, reaches tens of thousands of dollars. The trading of this fish is limited, since the red arowana is classified as an endangered species. There are even rumors on the internet that grown-up specimens are implanted with a special microchip containing detailed information about where and when this fish was grown, the breeder's name, and even the whole pedigree. The owner of this fish must have a certificate of ownership, and the microchip confirms the legality of its purchase. However, for sure, there are enough rarity lovers who wouldn't say no to having an amazing fish like this without a chip, just by catching it in the water. But just don't. White lion. For a long time, it was believed that white lions were just some fictional creatures from the beautiful legends of South Africa. The first scientific observations about this animal were published in the 1900s, and since then, sightings of white lions were quite rare. Only in 1975, cubs of a white lion were found in the Timbavati Nature Reserve. Just imagine these dazzling white little lions. There is an assumption that about 20,000 years ago in the Paleolithic era, white lions lived among the endless snow deserts, so they acquired this snow-white color, which served as camouflage during hunting. Then, as a result of global climate change on the planet, white lions began to inhabit the savannas and prairies of hotter countries. Surprisingly, these snow-white felines are not albinos, nor do they belong to a separate species. Perhaps their color indicates a fairly rare genetic disease, the opposite of melanism in black panthers. Today, white lions of no more than 300 all over the world live in zoos and nature reserves. In the wild, their chances of survival are negligible. White lions are too noticeable to hunt and vulnerable to humans. This rare animal is really valuable. A cub of a white lion can cost about $100,000. DeBratz's monkey. In nature, there's a wide variety of primates, which are easily confused with each other because they all look the same. But if you meet this monkey at least once, you definitely will not forget it, ever. Because the DeBratz's monkey looks like a grandpa monkey, regardless of its age. It has a funny white beard, thick red eyebrows, or rather one monobrow in the form of a crescent moon, and very sad eyes. It looks like a very tired martial arts teacher, don't you think? In the wild, these primates live in Central Africa, although it's rather difficult to meet them. Dabratz's monkeys are good at hiding in the foliage and behave very quietly if necessary. Despite their camouflage skills, they still get caught and sometimes are bred in captivity. The cost of one individual can exceed $7,000. Yeah, that's nothing compared to white lions, but unfortunately there are still much more Dabratz's monkeys on Earth. Rainbow-billed toucan. Probably when you hear someone talking about exotic birds, you think of a toucan. They do look really unusual, and if we're talking about the rainbow-billed toucan, it looks like a character from a colorful children's cartoon. A huge, colorful beak, bright feathers on the chest, and a voice. Well, it sounds like a strange mixture of a cackle and the croaking of a frog with a cold. Okay, we know they don't sound like a choir of angels, but otherwise, these creatures are a real gift for exotic lovers. These beaky birds feed mostly on fruits, and less often insects, frogs, and other small creatures. Rainbow-billed toucans are found mainly in tropical and subtropical rainforests from southern Mexico to Venezuela and Colombia, but sometimes these birds are kept as pets in other regions far from their homeland. A person who stumbled upon a rainbow-billed toucan and decided to sell it can make up to $4,000, although the local police most likely won't love this idea, not one bit. Arab horse. If you know anything about horses, no, even if you know nothing about them, then you probably still have heard about Arab horses. They're one of the oldest and most popular riding breeds. Arabian horses won world fame thanks to their beauty, speed, and endurance. The first horses similar to this breed lived in ancient times, about 2,500 years ago. Since then, these noble, fast, incredibly hardy animals seem to have become even better. Today, they're used mainly in horse racing and horse riding, as well as for amateur riding and equestrian sport. In addition, Arab horses are also very beautiful, which means that they are often shot in films and a variety of shows. It's not cheap either. Hiring a thoroughbred horse cost around $30,000. By the way, the most expensive Arabian stallion in history was called Padron, and it was sold in 1984 for $11 million. $11 million for a horse, friends. Unbelievable. Snow monkey. The most frost-proof monkey in the world is worth at least $3,000. These primates live in the forests of Japan and tolerate even really cold winters, by the standards of this country's, with real frost. In the north of Japan, where snow can fall up to 4 months a year, and the average winter temperature is -5 degrees Celsius, macaques spend frosty days in hot springs. Frankly, it does look pretty funny. On especially cold days, snow monkeys sitting in warm water even become hostages. When they go out for food, they freeze even more because of the wet fur. This is why they use a kind of duty system for feeding. While others sit in the water, 2 designated waiters with dry hair bring the food. Recently, these animals have been listed in the International Red List, which means that they now belong to protected species. However, having received a special permit, they can still be acquired legally. Ayam Cemani. Why did the chicken cost so much? Well, it was an Ayam Cemani. This is a rare Indonesian black breed. Each part of the body of this unique bird is black, beginning with the crest and feathers and ending with its feet. Even its internal organs are all black. This unusual effect was due to the presence of a dominant gene in the blood of the hen, which causes hyperpigmentation. In other words, its activity is 10 times greater than that of other chickens. Therefore, the Ayam Cemani has this color. The breed was long selected by Indonesians by crossing other breeds of chickens of dark color, and as a result, they managed to achieve an almost ideal plumage of black color, and only under a bright sunlight can give a little green shade. This breed is so unique and rare that the chicken in Indonesia costs about $200, and in other countries its price can reach several thousand. So in the US, this bird can be sold at a price of $2,500, and that's not even the limit. Argali. Thanks to their gorgeous horns up to 190 centimeters in length and a large size, the Argali are considered to be the largest species of wild sheep. These animals are considered as a species close to a vulnerable position. Uncontrolled hunting, poachers, and the displacement of Argali from their permanent habitats lead to the fact that there are fewer and fewer of them every year. It's not surprising that along with this, their price is also growing. According to some information, for a young Argali, you can get several $1,000. At the same time, the cost of an adult on the black market reaches hundreds of thousands, and this, unfortunately, only increases the interest of poachers, and with it, the concern of animal activists. After all, not only the living Argali have value, but also their horns, which cost at least $5,000. Psst, dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.